AITA for embarrassing my stepdad in front of his family saying he's in my house? For the past few months 17 meters, haven't had a good relationship with my mom or stepdad. I'm angry at them because 2 years ago when my dad passed away he left me inheritance that I'm supposed to get on my 18th b-day. I'm also getting survivor's benefits that my mom uses for me when I need things, so it's not like she used this inheritance for me. They bought a house that we moved into. It was weird for me because we always lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. My stepdad is a substitute teacher and my mom's a part-time reception. They never even had enough to go for a vacation or something, but all of a sudden they had for a large house out of nowhere. Mom looked guilty about it until she finally admitted they used some of what my dad left me to buy the house. I lost my shit. They tried to justify that it was for me too, and I asked them, does that mean they're moving out when I'm 18 and the house is gone be in my name? And they're like, no. That's what I thought. Supposedly the house was for my but max time I would have lived there was a few months. There's still some money left if I went to a cheap college, but still can't believe they used my money for something on themselves. That amount could have helped me get my own damn house. Also think is funny since my stepdad didn't like my dad because since I was spending more time with him that meant my mom had to pay a little in child support. But he doesn't care using the money he left for me. Sorry if this a bit of a rant, but where I'm asking it I was an asshole was last Saturday his family all came to stay at the house. They stayed Friday night, so it was next morning when I'm getting ready to go to work. I made myself eggs in a hurry before I left. My stepdad asked how come there wasn't more for his family, and told him it's because I'm already leaving for work, there wasn't gonna be time to make something for everyone. He acted like it's not a big deal if I'm a little late since it's rare they have people over at the house. We got back and forth because I'm not going to stop to make breakfast. He can do it himself. Then he pulled that don't talk to me like that in my house. By the way, there's no door in the kitchen and that leads right to the living room so they could hear all this. I said loudly, actually it's my house since you paid for it with my money and don't forget they stole from me. My mom is expecting me to apologize for embarrassing him in front of his whole family because after I left they all had shit to say about it. They already went home by the time I got home, but you could feel the tension. He straight up ignored me, that's how bad it was. I don't feel like there's anything for me to apologize for, so that's where she thinks I'm not being a good son and kind of in a hole. Wanna know if others feel the same? You should probably contact a lawyer about them misusing the money that was meant for you. I think you should talk to an estate lawyer because if your dad structured his will properly, I would say your mother has misused funds put in trust for you for her own personal benefit. Don't pick a huge fight with your mom and stepdad over this until you have the facts. But I really do think you should have a professional review the situation and let you know what your options are. Kiddo, it sounds like you might need to get a copy of the paperwork that says it's your inheritance and who is in control of the decisions. You might need a lawyer. Stay cool and non-confrontational until you know the truth and all your ducks are in a row. Think big picture. Play the long game and get what's yours. And honestly, I would actually recommend you go and talk to a lawyer about suing them for your money. That money should have been held in trust for you. And they have likely broke all kinds of laws by using it to purchase an asset in their own names. LMAO, my mom pulled this same shit with the money my dad left me. Her and her husband built themselves a nice little McMansion. Dude. Get an attorney and get back what's rightfully yours. Spending your 17-year-old child's inheritance on a house with your new partner is so selfish and foul. Even if you were 10 and had 8 years left to live in that house, they had no right to spend your inheritance on a house. That money was for your future, not theirs. Expecting your 17-year-old to cook breakfast for the family when they are late for work, when you are completely free to do so yourself, is incredibly selfish. Sensing a pattern here? TBH, I don't think you did anything wrong by expressing it's your house. Was it petty? Yes. But justifiably so. It doesn't even sound like you were trying to humiliate him. You simply stated the truth. He wouldn't be embarrassed if there wasn't merit to what you said. Also, to echo everyone else, contact a lawyer. Also, might be a good idea to text him or your mom about this at some point, just to have a paper trail documenting them affirming they used your inheritance to buy a house for themselves. IDK if that will be usable evidence going forward, but nice to have in your back pocket. X. Mom said to apologize to you for embarrassing you in front of XYZ. I'm texting because I'm still upset and you probably are too. I wasn't trying to embarrass you. I've just been holding in a lot of anger about my inheritance and just blew up. I'm trying to plan for college and it really still bothers me that even though my dad left me the money for my future, you and mom spent part of my inheritance on this house that feels more for your futures than mine. Etc. etc. That way he responds, thinking this text is just a shitty apology, and argues that they used the money for your benefit. You will have some preliminary evidence that they misused your inheritance. Again, not sure if this would truly be helpful with lawyer, but can't hurt to have. NTA. You need a lawyer. Your mother and stepfather are stealing from you, and if they felt comfortable enough to do it once, they're definitely still doing it. Definitely NTA, and it's time to find a lawyer. Find one that specializes in probates and trusts. Have you spoken to an attorney? How did your mom get access to this money? NTA. I would get a lawyer to look into whether they used that money illegally. NTA. Emancipate immediately and sue them for your money. If the inheritance is large enough, a lawyer will help you. Are there any other adults you trust that could help you navigate a legal solution? Get a lawyer ASAP. NTA. YH, you're absolutely NTA. You could probably pursue legal actions because they're not meant to touch money that your father left for you, let alone buy a house and leave barely anything for you. It's disgusting and just immoral to steal from a dead man and your own son. The fact he wanted you to make his whole family breakfast just shows he's taking advantage of you. You're not his slave. You own him nothing, and he should be embarrassed to use his stepson's inheritance to buy a house and then call it his own. You have nothing to apologize for. I'd be calling a lawyer if I was you. Fuck that. If your father left it in your name, then they shouldn't have been able to touch it. NTA. This to me is financial abuse. They're stealing money out of you fund. Get a lawyer. NTA. And I do second everyone's advice on checking out the legalities of this, but damn, that was a nice shot. Don't apologize, but try to minimize antagonizing him at least until you can safely leave the house. At 18. NTA. They stole from you. IDK the legality of it all, because there are too many variables, but I would seek out advice from an attorney. That's just messed up. NTA. If he's that mad at you, it's not because you embarrassed him in front of his family. It's probably because some of them agreed with you and cussed him out after you left. If they'd just laughed it off and agreed with him, he'd have been in a better mood. Also, if you have any contact with your father's family or the lawyer that handled his estate, this would be the time to start reaching out about what's happened. Maybe they're legally in the clear for what they did, though certainly still morally guilty. But maybe they aren't. You'd need someone familiar with the details of the trust, will or probate case because there are just too many variables to say. But you may be able to get some or all of it back if there was any wrongdoing. Sounds like you can get an attorney. Pretty sure it's illegal for them to spend that money like that.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.